Okay, ladies, good evening. I am a little bit late tonight, but that's okay. So I'm here to share with you topic number 44. And as I mentioned in the post yesterday or the day before yesterday, this is a little bit of a tough topic, especially if you have to willingly admit to being or feeling some way that is not right. Hold on, let me click this off. Okay, so tonight's topic in week 44, as we are nearing the end, I have week 45 ready, week 46, maybe week 47, still working on that one. But tonight, this is a delicate topic that could actually, hi Charlotte, so good to see you on here. This could actually really, it's going to be hard to admit. So this week's topic is called When I Am Jealous. Have you ever been jealous of someone else? And I'm going to raise my hand because I have been jealous. Has your jealousy for someone else caused you to behave badly or to react badly? And how long did the jealousy last? Now, I looked up on the internet. There are so many scriptures that talk about jealousy and the effects of jealousy and how jealousy affects a lot of things. And actually, I'm going to get right back here one second. Okay, now, here we go. So, yes, okay, thank you for raising your hand, Charlotte. So, how does jealousy make you feel? It makes you feel pretentious on the inside. You can feel anxiety, and there's this burning fire inside of you sometimes, because sometimes that we want, and this lesson could actually go back to when we talked about when I want to be content. But here's what jealousy is. The definition of jealousy says it's feeling or showing envy of someone on their achievements and advantages. But I like when you really break that definition down to use the word envy. Here's what the word envy says. Envy is a feeling of discontentment or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. What makes us jealous of other people? Is it because the way they look, the way they act, their personality, the car they drive, the homes they have? This is why I'm always really particular about, as Christian women, we need to be lifting everyone up. We need to be straightening each other's crowns. And by far, we need to understand that we have no reason to be jealous. God created you exactly the way He wanted you. I was explaining this a while back, and you take a mom and a dad, and you think about when God was creating you, when He was wonderfully forming you in your mother's womb, He took pieces of your mom and He took pieces of your dad, and He knitted those together with genetics, and then He added His special touch. He added His purpose for you in there when He was creating you. We really have no need to be jealous. I've been thinking about some things about being jealous and how it made me feel. I'm going to tell the truth about this. So when I was a little girl, and I don't know if she'll get to hear it tonight, Susie, she lived across from my grandmother's, and we were best friends, and we played together. She always had the coolest stuff, and we used to play dolls, and it was so cool because her mom ordered her these amazing doll clothes that I never seen before. It was so cool, and I will never forget that we were playing, and we had got carried away, and several weeks later we came back to play again. We always played at my grandmother's house. And when we opened up this chair and flipped out the leg where you prop your legs up, there was all these doll clothes that we had forgotten about, that we had put in like we were storing them. And immediately my heart became so envious, and I was like, and she goes like, well, where did those come from? And I said, well, I got some just like yours, knowing good and well those were not mine. Yes, I did not keep the doll clothes, and I told the truth, but I could feel that coming up inside of me. And the worst part about it was how I was behaving about those silly doll clothes was making me feel more ugly inside. Even as a little girl, I could absolutely tell what jealousy would do to someone and being envious. Now, when we think about being envious, are we envious because people have it better than we have it? And do we really know if they have it better than we have it? All we know is what we see on the outside. We don't understand what's going on inside the home, inside the mind, inside the heart, inside the soul. We don't know really what's going on. And the thing about Facebook is, and Instagram and other social media outlets is, most often we only post the things that look good or that make. So I want us to really think about when we're posting on Facebook, and this is just something that burdens my heart. Because a lot of times if we post things on Facebook, maybe we have the right intentions in our heart, but maybe it could cause someone else to feel envious or jealous of us if we are posting things we have that others are in need of, or things to do. I'm not saying it's wrong to do those things. I really want to think about the heart of everyone around us. I don't want anybody to feel jealous of me in any way. I don't want to do anything to make anybody feel that way, and I want to work really hard not to be jealous of anybody else, anything. One of the things that I have learned as a woman, it is very difficult, I mean, maybe this is just me, sometimes not to feel jealous of someone else, of another woman. And there's this power struggle that beats out. If another woman gets more attention on the job or more attention in anything, there is something that immediately rises up inside of us. And what I have found out as I have grown spiritually and professionally is that those people who feel that way really have a void in their heart, and they really have a need. And instead of getting into the one-up power struggle or to try to outdo, how about stepping back and lifting up? Because my heart really hurts about this, because what I've realized that people are hurting. They are feeling like they are not adequate. That's causing them or making them to act that way. And instead of them, when we can be women who can have these sensors that go off to realize that women are experiencing this, instead of allowing that to rise up in us and to react wrong to them, let's step back and set them up and allow them to have what they need. Because when you really break it down, ladies, when you have that righteous, spiritual, intimate relationship with God, and you can understand and you can accept God made you just like He made you. He didn't want you to be like anybody else. He didn't want anyone else to be like you. He created you for you to complete a purpose for Him, and we're never going to complete that. We're never going to be in the right will and the right way to do those things if we are coveting or wanting to be like someone else. The enemy uses that so many times, and I'm tired of him doing that to me, and I don't want him to do that to you anymore. And I hope that we can agree tonight is that we move forward, and when envy starts to visit us or jealousy starts to peck us on the shoulder, that we can remember who we are in Him, and it's not necessary to be jealous or to feel those ways. Now I'm going to read you in the book of Job, and I've been doing a little bit of study in the book of Job if you've been watching me on Salty Sister. But one of the things his friends, they really were giving him bad advice, but one of them did say something very good. In Job chapter 5 verse 2, it said he was saying this: surely vexation, which is being annoyed, being frustrated, you ever feel like that, kills the fool, and jealousy slays the simple. Jealousy is not good, and they call it the green-eyed monster. I'm going to give you some tips to tell when I want to give you, thanks Charlotte so much, I appreciate that. I want to give you some tips, some things that you can tell when people are jealous of you. And then maybe I'm going to try to do this twofold. First of all, I want to try to give you some indicators when you can tell that someone is jealous of you. This will give you the indicator to not try to one-up them, to not try to feel that pressure to push back and to be better, but to have compassion and humility toward this person and understand they're really struggling on the inside. And obviously, if they're doing that, they are doing that because they see that strength in you, and they would like to be like you in that sense. So what you want to do is you want to share what you have, share what God's given you, help them live up to their purpose by not engaging in those kinds of things. I always say, don't engage, you'll get enraged. And the enemy is waiting for that very moment for you to dig in and start clawing with jealousy. You have been able to experience so many things in your life and see the miracles of God just transform right in front of you. You don't want to give that to anybody else. Enjoy who you are, who God has created you to be. But here are some things that it says. When people pay insincere compliments to you, you can feel it. I'm sure you've had it before and someone's been fake to you about it. And listen, as women, we need compliments from each other. We need to feel beautiful. We need to feel loved. We need to feel worthy and wanted. But never pay an insincere compliment to anybody. They copycat you. You can see them doing what you're doing or trying to take an idea that you have and take it forward. Be honored. Don't be jealous. feel honored because what you have, someone else really wanted, and it really meant something to them that they wanted to copy it and duplicate it. There's no sense to be jealous. That's a compliment to you. They flaunt their successes. People all the time who have to say how great they are, how good they are, how wonderful they are, or to flaunt the things that they do well, that means, this is the sad part, this is really hurts, is that no one else is doing that for them. That they have to actually pay themselves compliments by talking that way. So when you see people like that, they are in need of people to be engaged with them in the right way. They are in need of people, they are in a need to feel worthy, and that they are in need to feel accepted. So think about that when you hear people flaunting their successes. What about, instead of thinking, oh wow, gee, here she goes again, what about saying, really, that is wonderful, tell me more about that. How did you get there? How did that happen? Do you know they may really be seeking someone to just listen to them so that they can talk, and to give you an opportunity to lift them up. It might help step them down from doing that in the future. Okay, what about they deliberately give bad advice. People will give you bad advice because they want you to make the wrong decision. Now, I've taught you this over and over and over again. You don't go ask people for advice. You do not take advice from people unless that person has prayed and said, you know, I've prayed about this for you. Or if someone asks you for advice, you should always say, let me pray about this for you. Let me see what God would have me to tell you, because most often we are emotionally connected, and we're going to most often give the wrong advice anyway, because we're giving it based upon emotion, not after praying and asking and seeking God. Don't you want every single person that gives you advice, don't you want them to seek God first? Don't you want to hear what He has to say about the situation? So don't try to give bad. They will give you bad advice because they want to see you fail. So as a rule of thumb, don't take advice from anybody. Take advice from God unless someone has told you they've really prayed and sought God for you. They love to dish out the dirt on you. How many people love to dish out the dirt? We're so easily to talk about the things that people do wrong, but rarely want to take an opportunity to lift somebody up for a kind deed, something they've done nice. I mean, it is true. I don't know why it happens like that way. We are so eager to spread bad news about people rather than to tell the good things about people. What if that completely reversed and we started lifting people up instead of letting people down? And, you know, we really need to think about that. They love to dish out the dirt on you. What that means is this. Again, this is where humility comes in for us to have compassion for this person, not anger, because this is a person in need and a person wanting something or feeling a void that they can't fill up. What happens is, by putting you down, it makes them feel more appreciated, or more they're lifting themselves up. And this is hard stuff to swallow, ladies. Instead of, you know, well, you won't believe what they've said about me. Yeah, I probably could believe that, because when a person is hurting, when a person is in need, when a person is wanting, it is hard telling what they can say or do to make themselves feel on the same level as you. Again, remember, they're seeing something in your life that they don't have, and they want that, and they feel like sometimes the only way to get that is to tear you down. So don't, just again, step back, engage in the right kind of heart-loving way. They're very competitive. You always see those little cute that little girl that does those 1-Up commercials. I think she's so cute. And they're competitive. There is a place for healthy competition, but it's never to tear a woman down or to try to raise ourselves up another woman. No matter what we do on this earth, no matter how much we try to tear a person down or step on a person to lift ourselves up, or no matter what someone else does to you, God sees everything. That's where the balance in the scales are. That is where He's going to see that. We can never make ourselves look any better, because He sees the inside of our heart. And boy, I would hate for Him to see the inside of my heart sometimes when I feel that way or when I have felt that way. They'll criticize you, always putting you down, telling you what you're not, telling you what you need to be. That hurts. And then you feel conflicted by that. And you can never get that out of your mind, what they've said to you, to be critical. realize, again, they are acting out, because whatever they're criticizing in you, it's something they hope to have for themselves. Now, if you're a critical person and you see something and you want to criticize a person, it's really hard to swallow the truth and wonder, is that something I'm really wanting? And is that why I'm being critical of them, because I don't have it? It's hard to swallow the truth about ourselves. It's hard to swallow the truth about what we need to do. So instead, the next time before you are going to be critical of someone, ask yourself, am I being critical because I'm jealous? Because jealousy is wrong. It doesn't look beautiful on anybody. And I'm not going to put on that coat of jealousy today, but I'm going to put on that coat of love. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. They like to celebrate the failures of people. Have you ever celebrated when somebody falls? Well, she had it coming to her. I knew that was going to happen. She wouldn't get away with that for long. We don't want to celebrate the failures. We want to be there to help catch the people. We want to help them get back up on their feet again. That's exactly the love of Christ and what He wants us to do. We should never want to celebrate the failures of someone else. If someone is celebrating your failure, again, think about, where is this coming from? There is a broken person inside that is reacting like this. They're hurt and they're feeling belittled, and the enemy wants you to have resentment and anger against them. He wants you to get all that bitterness going in your heart and stirred up. Try not to do that. Try to look at them with humility, with compassion, and with love. They're plan spoilers. They humiliate you in front of others. That is hard to swallow. But again, a soft answer turns away wrath is what Proverbs says. Sometimes just stepping back and saying, I have made a mistake like this. Being able to admit your own faults in front of other people when they want to tear you down really puzzles them. They can't get it. Or when you actually mess up, being able to own up to the situation. I totally messed up and I made a mistake. What can we do to fix this? People struggle with that because they are waiting for the moment. It's not any fun to tear you down if you're the one talking about your error and what you've done and how you've mishandled a situation and how you can make it better. They hate for no reason at all. We're not supposed to hate, but they'll just look, I just don't like her. I just don't like her. I don't like anything about her. Why? What is it that causes you to spend so much energy not liking her? What do you see in her life? Or what do they see in your life that's causing them just to hate you or not like you for any reason? We've got to dig deep into our souls and mind and ask us, what is really causing that feeling? There is something hidden, buried beneath that's causing us to feel that way, and that is not the intention of what we're supposed to feel in our heart. We have got to work on ourselves, asking God to take inventory, to please show us, Lord, what is it that is ugly inside of me, because I want to get all the ugly out of me. They downplay your achievements. And they're all often absent during moments of success. Have you ever been deliberately absent when someone is going to someone's success just because you're not going to be there? Ladies, I appreciate everybody that always watches these videos. I struggle all the time wondering if I should keep doing this. I wonder always if anybody's out there, but in my heart, I'm so compelled to be obedient to God, regardless of what the enemy, how he makes me feel about whether people are listening or whether I'm even making a difference for him. So that is a strong case for me. Everybody has their own point of things like that. And so I do appreciate you too. And listen, and so here's the thing. When you start to feel that ugly green-eyed monster, when you start to feel jealous, ask yourself, why am I thinking this way? Why am I behaving like this on the inside? And I don't know about each of you. I hope that you've all experienced that. That feeling. It's the most horrible feeling inside. It makes you angry. It makes you hateful. It makes you irritable. It makes you short-tempered with people. Those are not fruits of the Spirit, and we have no time and no place for those in our life with how things are going. In Proverbs 14:30, it says this: "A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot." I don't know about you, but I do not want my bones rotting. I don't want enviness. I don't want that in my life. I'm trying to pull this up here. I don't want that in my life at all. So I'm going to work really hard about the areas where I feel like there could be a tendency for me to feel that way toward another person. We always need to be careful about how we promote ourselves and the things that we do about ourselves, because we also don't want to hinder another person by bragging or talking about things in our life that may be things that they are really in need of. Okay? Now, here's what I want to take you to in 1 Corinthians. Just one second. My screen went to sleep. I want to read this to you. James 3, verses 14 through 16. And by the way, there is all kinds of scriptures about jealousy. I'm so excited to see what you place in that. James 3, 14 through 16 says this: "But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic." It's saying that jealousy is demonic. "For where jealousy and selfish ambitions exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice." Now I'm going to step back and I'm going to read that to you one more time. Close your eyes and listen to what I'm telling you, how horrible and how evil jealousy is. "But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambitions exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice." Think about it. Jealousy brings about disorder. Do you want all those things? And it's not coming from the Father. It's coming from the enemy. Do not accept gifts from the enemy, only from God. And the last place I want to take you to before I close this evening is 1 Corinthians 13. It is what we all know as the love chapter. And we have got to embrace the word love. We have got to practice what it does. And we've got to understand what love is not and what love is. We have got to practice loving the people that may be jealous of us, or loving the people that we may feel jealous about. Ask ourselves, ask God to say, "God, why do I feel that way about that person? I really, really wish my life was like theirs because of this." God can open up a lot of things in your mind and heart and really speak to you to help you. If you really focus on your relationship with Him, Matthew 6:33, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." If we spent our time really devoted to seeking God and His will and His righteousness, we wouldn't have time to be jealous or even think about these things that James is talking about here, about jealousy and envy. But here's what 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7 is. Listen to this. "Love is patient." A jealous person is not patient. They're irritable. They're agitated. Love is kind. Jealousy is not kind. Being envious is not kind at all, because all the things I listed, you want to tear people down. You want to belittle people. Love does not envy. There it is in the scripture again. Love does not envy. Love is not jealous. It's not arrogant. It's not arrogant, because when you think about this, when we were talking about earlier about boasting about yourself and flaunting your successes, love is not arrogant. Love is not rude. When you're jealous of somebody, you're really quick to be rude to them. Love does not insist on it being your way or their way. How many people want to do that? Love is not irritable. See, irritability comes from being jealous of somebody. Love is not resentful, also rooted from jealousy. Love does not rejoice in wrongdoing, also part of jealousy. Love does this. It bears all things. It bears the burden of another jealous person. It understands. It has compassion and genuine God love at that person to say, how can I lift this person up that's behaving this way toward me? How can I refuse to engage and get in that power struggle and tug of war? How can I help change this person to feel the fullness that I feel, whatever it is inside of me that they're longing for to have? How can I help this person? Love believes all things, love hopes in all things, and love endures all things. There is so many things, lady, that listen, when God created you, every single one of you, He created you exactly how He wanted you to be. Everything that's going on in your life right now, He knows that. And He's going to use it for His good in your life, for your good. You just have to embrace the struggle. You have to embrace the good times, the bad times, the hard times, the times that you feel like you're about to fall apart, the grieving times, the times that you become. You have to embrace all this. It is your life that He has given you, not somebody else's. We need to pull our boots up and put our war paint on and understand who we are. We are a child of the King. His royal blood runs through your veins. You are His. You are chosen. You have been ransomed. You have been redeemed. You have been called. And well, I just want to shout, because when you think about that, how He put so much time and effort into you, how could we ever want to be like anybody else? Now, is it okay to think, I really want to get to this level as this person is, but not with envy in my heart and jealousy? That's right. We want to strive to do better, to be better, to love better, and to not be envious. So it is a fine line between love and envy, and we are supposed to be exhibiting love. And as I read you the scripture in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7, jealousy is no part of love whatsoever. So tonight, I hope that you're going to choose to love, to not be envious of people. And when you feel that feeling inside of you, you need to remember who you are and how He created you to be, and what an insult it is to God for you to want to be like somebody else. Imagine the insult that is, because He made you just like you are. Love who you are. Embrace who you are. Enjoy who you are, even the trials of your life, because you are a testament to Him. You are wearing a badge of honor of all the circumstances you're going through, that you're now going to be able to add that to your spiritual resume, and you're going to be able to use it to help lift somebody else up, because you got through it, and you're going to help pull them through it too. Also, I want you to think about the opposite side of it is the envious person. What can you do to start really loving this person, helping this person, teaching this person? Ask God to give you an abundance of love for this person. God, give me the want to love this person like you want me to, Lord. Obviously, they are here in my life. There is this opposition between us. There is this enviness and this jealousy between us, God. God, I want you to remove that, and I want you to just let me see this individual through your eyes. Let me see what they're longing for, what they need, the voids that they have. God, help me to fill this person up, to not have to feel this way, because it is a horrible, horrible feeling to feel this way. So this week, as you're going through scriptures, there are a ton of scriptures about jealousy, and I want you to think about the inventory of your heart, really praying about this, and really fighting against absolutely taking the initiative to not feel jealous or to be envious of anyone else because of who you are in Christ. Remind yourself that don't give the enemy an inch. Don't give him any place to set up property in your mind or in your heart, but challenge him because of who you are, and that you refuse to accept it, and you refuse to feel that way, and you refuse to act out of a jealous heart, but only a heart filled full of love. And as you're looking through the scriptures and you're going through the week this week, find somebody that you can exhibit this love. Again, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it's not arrogant, it's not rude, it does not insist to have its own way, it is not irritable, it is not resentful, it does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but it bears all things, it believes all things, it hopes all things, and it endures all things. So ladies, this week I hope that you have been encouraged. I hope that this will help you fight any enviness or jealousy that you have in your heart, and to lay it down and never pick it back up. I also hope it helps you encourage another person not to feel those feelings about it when they are treating you like this. I look forward to seeing all of your scriptures this week. Please make comments, please share your thoughts, and please share your scriptures. Until next week, it'll be week 45, and it's another great topic. It's going to be another challenging topic, but I'm not going to give it to you yet. But I hope you have a blessed and mighty week.